back with more What's Now. Where does America stand economically, globally, politically? Well, I spoke with Neil Bradley of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce all about the state of American business here in 2020.
The state of American business in 2020 is at a crossroads, economically, politically, and globally. Joining us to discuss this and share economic data on small business optimism and workforce trends in our state is Executive Vice President and Chief Policy Officer Neil Bradley of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for talking with us here at Park City Television.
Well, thanks for having me, Christine. It's a real pleasure.
Well, it's our honor. And Neil, what is the biggest challenge facing businesses today and why?
Well, the thing that we hear from all of our members at the U.S. Chamber, it doesn't matter if they're a small business, mid-size, or large, is very common. It is that they have open jobs that they can't fill. We hear from construction companies who can't get the workers they need to complete a project, small business owners who can't get the workers they need to be able to keep the doors open on the weekend. So at the U.S. Chamber, we went and did some research. We tried to figure out how big the problem was. Turns out it's not a problem, it's a crisis. If we just look at the data for Utah, for example. For every 10 job openings that there are in Utah, at most, there are only 7 individuals available to fill those jobs. And that assumes they have the right skill set and they're in the right place where that job is located, which of course we know is not always the case. And so one of the big things holding back our economy, one of the big things that's going to prevent us as growing as quickly and as far as we should is this workforce shortage crisis.
And what policies do we need in place to help businesses thrive, especially here in Utah?
Well, it's a number of things. And, in Utah, you're doing a lot of things right. And, it's a lot of things that we can emulate across the country and even in Washington, D.C. And it starts with skills training, right? We got to make sure that we match what people come out of high school, college, community college, the skills that those are matched with what employers are looking for. And we have a program called Talent Pipeline Management at the U.S. Chamber to help do just that. But we also need smart immigration reform. People who want to come to this country legally to live and to work, we need to open the doors to those individuals, welcome and to live out their American dream and help our entire country prosper. And so the solutions to this aren't singular. It means getting policy right there in Utah and getting policy right at the national level here in Washington, D.C.
This is obviously a big year politically. Do you think these business issues, especially like workforce issues, will be important and talked about on the campaign trail?
Absolutely. Candidates for public office, elected officials, politicians, they talk to the same business leaders we do at the U.S. Chamber, and they're hearing the same concerns. That said, there's a lot of different versions on how to fix this problem. We got to make sure we choose wisely. If we don't get the policies right, if we don't make it easier for people to work, easier for people to get the skills, easier for people to come into the workforce, we run a real risk. And the real risk is that we kill this growing economy that we have and that we push it into a recession. So, we got to choose wisely this year, get the policies right, get everyone focused on doing the important things that need to be done to keep the economy growing. If we do it at the U.S. Chamber, we're confident that this new decade can be the Roaring 20s.
Absolutely, and that's exciting to hear. Where can we get more information?
Sure. Your viewers can go to uschamber.com and they can learn about all of these issues and a whole host of other things that we're working on in partnership with our state and local chambers to keep the economy growing and America prosperous.
Well, thank you so much, Neil, for talking with Park City Television. It's been a pleasure and very informative.
Thank you, Christine. Have a great day.